Hey everyone, what is going on? Welcome back to today's video. In today's video, we're jumping back into another operator guide because it is Sunday. Now, just before we jump into this video, I just wanted to address something real quick. Now, obviously on Sundays, I can't do the voting system anymore and all that, so I've just been picking operators. I don't know what it is, but the last video I uploaded was the Jackal guide, and it really didn't do well at all. So, you guys need to let me know down in the comment section below of this video if you guys want me to keep up these operator guides, because obviously, they're not really getting the support they used to get, obviously, so I'm just trying to understand what you guys want. Do you want these operator guides or do you not? Because they used to be one of my top videos, but lately they've just been slowly depleting, and Jackal Guide's probably one of my worst opening hours I've had in the last year, so I'm not really sure what happened to that video. I don't know if it was just one bad video or if it's going to be a consistent trend for the guides. We'll find out when I upload this tonight, but I'm not really sure what you guys are doing, but let me know down below if you want me to keep up these guides, because obviously, if you guys don't want them, then there's really no point making them until people start asking for them again. So until then, I'm just going to upload this one and then we'll see how it goes. But if this does not go well, then don't be surprised if there's no operator guide next Sunday. But without further ado, let's dive into the Thatcher guide. And just to start off, we're going to start off with the weapon review, we're going to move on to the gadget utilization, then we're going to finish off with the operator strategies, as always. So without further ado, let's dive into the weapon review. So Thatcher has access to three primary weapons, He has access to, firstly, the AR-33, which comes in at 41 damage per shot at 749 rounds per minute. This gun is definitely one of the stronger guns. All of his guns he actually has a great primary loadout. All of his weapons are definitely utilizable, I don't even know if that's a word, in their own way. So I'd say the primary target of the AR is it doesn't do as much damage as the L8, but it has a higher fire rate, so it kind of makes up for it in that situation. And it's really just depending on the recoil patterns of the two, which one you like better. Really, that's about the only difference most people have. I'm pretty sure the L8's easy to control for most people, at least it is for me. Correct me if I'm wrong, but definitely both weapons are viable assault rifles to bring. And yeah, the AR brings a lot of damage and a lot of power, along with a solid stability. It has a little bit of recoil, definitely a little bit more in my opinion than the L8, but it is still a great weapon to bring, and it's unique to Thatcher only, so if you really do enjoy this weapon, then it looks like you're going to be playing Thatcher a little bit more. Now, next is going to be the L85A2. This weapon is the SAS assault rifle. You find it on Sledge and Thatcher. Comes in at 47 damage, on 670 rounds per minute. So obviously, like I said, in a little bit, 6 increase in damage, but the fire rate drops about 70 or something. I'm not really sure how critical that is, but I'd definitely say it's not too much of a drop in terms of fire rate, because obviously it still does shoot pretty fast. This is definitely my preferred weapon on Thatcher. It just has really basically no recoil. It's very easy to use. Has that ACOG access, but so does the AR, obviously. Just all around, it's a great gun in my opinion, and I definitely enjoy using it. So in my opinion, I definitely prefer the L8. But in terms of my recommendations to you guys for a loadout, I'd always recommend you bring an AR when you're attacking, because you don't really find yourself in those close range situations with a shotgun ever, really. So it's just, in my opinion, I'd recommend the L8. But both weapons are completely viable, and you can use either of them. It's really up to you. It just depends whether you want a gun that you have to practice a little bit more in terms of recoil, or just a straight up weapon within the L8. And finally, we cannot forget about the M590A1 shotgun. 48 damage a shot on. It's got a little bit of a putback, but basically pretty solid fire rate. But this thing is a good shotgun when you're defending. In my opinion, you really shouldn't be running shotguns on attack. The only time you ever really could use a shotgun on attack if you're rushing the hell out of them, which is not a Sledge thing to do. Maybe Finker, someone else, but Sledge is definitely made for support. We'll get in, not Sledge. I don't know why I'm talking about. Not Thatcher. Thatcher is 100% made for support. You should really not ever run the shotgun on Thatcher. I think you should run the ARs for sure, and that's just my personal opinion. But this shotgun is great if you're feeling like a crazy cunt and want to use it. And finally, his secondary is the P226 Mark 25. This is a pretty solid pistol on 50 damage a shot on a trigger finger fire rate. Obviously, it is no match to the SMG11, which Thatcher is the only one who doesn't have access to this in the SAS Defender lineup, which is a little bit unfortunate. Maybe he'll get buffed and get it in the future, who knows, but for now, he's stuck with the pistol. But the pistol is definitely not horrible. It's still a great pistol to use, and it's a great thing to finish off your kills when you get into those gunfights where you potato a little bit. Now, in terms of his utilities or gadgets, he has access to the Breach Charge and the Claymore. I personally run Claymore on most people who have it, just because I feel like having that Claymore may help you out in the long term, and it might come in clutch. So I personally like to run Claymores, but in terms of Thatcher, because he's such a hard breaching role, and he can, not a hard breaching, like a hard support breacher, etc. I think you guys know what I mean. The breach charge could come in handy, but it's really just up to you on whether you want to bring the claymore or the breach charge. Both of them are great gadgets, and you don't really need one to excel more at Thatcher like some operators do, like Ash with the flashbangs, obviously. But yeah, either one works, and just pick whichever one you feel is more comfortable towards the way you play. Now diving into his gadget utilization. Now obviously Thatcher has access to the EMP grenade. This is a grenade that you can throw. You have 3 of these in your inventory, and it destroys all electricity within the radius of the grenade. This thing is the best support gadget you can bring in the game at the moment. If you are bringing any type of hard breacher and Thatcher's not banned, you instantly bring a Thatcher, just because he helps the hard breach so much that he's just essential to the team, and basically everyone picks him. So Thatcher is just great in that sense, and he is definitely the best support operator in this game. Obviously, if you classify a breacher as a supporter, then yes, they're going to be up there with him as well, but I feel like breacher and support are 2 different roles, and Thatcher's definitely at the top of the support role. Thatcher's gadget is just an absolute beast, and this thing can destroy it destroys every electrical gadget in the game. This includes shock wires, Wamais, ADSs, Grismots, just the list is ever-ending, and this is just such a great gadget for you to bring on the offensive team. And if you are basically attacking any map, hard breaching is always going to help you in majority of sites, and making a hard breach more of an efficient use is bringing Thatcher. So Thatcher's just, in my opinion, he's one of the top operators in the game in terms of like utility, which is what puts him at the top. Obviously, some people are going to be like, Ash is the best player, Zophia's the best player, but in terms of pure utility, I put this in my top 5 attackers as well. Thermite, Thatcher are definitely the top 2 that you can bring, and just all around, Thatcher's just... his ability is great. Now, the best way to utilize this gadget. Now, obviously, I've basically already gone over this. So, Thatcher's ability is useful on its own, but the best way to utilize this is to team it up with a hard breacher. Your aces, your Habanas, and your thermites. All 3 of these people can really use a Thatcher to get rid of Cades and bandits, which are the 2 primary targets when you are hard breaching. And bringing a Thatcher basically just completely ends their career. Obviously, if the bandit or the Cade is tricking, it makes it a little bit more difficult for Thatcher to take utilization, but obviously, it is still completely possible for this to happen, and yeah, it just makes it a lot easier to hard breach. Obviously, there is also nothing wrong with throwing a Thatcher just casually into a room or an area that you know is heavily populated with gadgets, and you can just utilize this and just destroy all the gadgets in the area. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that, but I'd say the prime use that most people bring Thatcher for is for hard breach assistance, which is the way I would recommend you guys play him, and it's definitely the prime reason you should pick Thatcher when you are attacking. And that's about all I have to say in terms of how you should utilize this gadget. Obviously, Thatcher is in play quite rarely. He is probably one of the most banned operators in the game, along with the Jackals, the Echoes, the Cavs, all that. Because Thatcher is just... people know that Thatcher just absolutely ruins defensive holds, because it basically makes Bandit useless, and Bandit and Cade, it makes both of them useless, and Bandit and Cade are the 2 counters to hard breaching, and hard breaching is one of the most efficient things you can do on attack to give you a much higher percentage chance of winning the round. So it's just altogether the whole scene of Thatcher is people hate it. That's why he gets banned so much. But if he is in play, you're an idiot if you don't utilize him. But with that said, let's dive into the operator strategies, and obviously, straight off the bat, Thatcher's a support operator. There's no questions behind it. Thatcher is 100% a support operator. You should be playing him as a support operator, or if you decide to frag with Thatcher, I'm going to question what rank I'm in and what the fuck you're doing, because if you are a Thatcher, your prime objective in picking him is to either rid gadgets if there's no hard breacher, which would be interesting, because there's normally always a hard breacher. Ace has been in play a lot more lately. Everyone's utilizing Ace. Habana's usually in play when it's a hatched objective, and then Thermite's just good for all-around hatch or walls. Obviously, walls is primary target, but he can get hatches as well. Same with Ace, but Ace needs 2 of his little throwy things to actually get a hatch, so he's not really very good at that. But 100% Thatcher is a support operator, and your primary goal whenever you pick Thatcher should be to support the hard breacher. That is the main thing you should be doing whenever you pick Thatcher. You should be looking out for your hard breachers, you should be trying to help them out as best as you can, and you should just be utilizing your Thatcher grenades to get rid of this electricity, these ADSs, so people can maybe if you want to team this up with a Zofia instead of using a Thatcher because he's tricking, you get rid of an ADS with your Thatcher, and then Zofia can shoot a impact grenade at the bandit who is just sitting there bandit tricking. All of these different things that Thatcher can be useful for, and this is just the main reason people know he's that good and why he gets banned. So Thatcher is Thatcher is just a great all-around operator. I'm kind of speechless on just how I can describe him, because most people should know this already, that he's just such a great operator to bring. But obviously, the main purpose of this segment of the video is to teach you how to play him, and it's just hands down, if you need to play him as a support operator. His gun is great, yes, but don't only use it if you're in a situation where you know you are allowed to die. You've already done your role in the team, you've already done your role of that objective, and you are, if you die, you're not like throwing the game away. So the main time you are actually able to utilize this weapon's power is normally after you get the hard breach open. Once you have played Thatcher, that is the best time you can just go sicko mode and just utilize his weapons. So, but in all, your prime goal anytime you play Thatcher is to play a support op for the hard breacher, and until that's done, you really shouldn't be doing anything else unless the situation arises where you know you can get a kill and you're like 99% sure you're going to get it, unless you just completely flop it. And with that said, that's about all I have to say about Thatcher. Honestly, that he's quite a straightforward operator in my opinion. There's really not too much to say about him, but just giving you the basics of him hopefully will help you improve and be a better Thatcher player, so you guys can get more utilization out of Thatcher, because 100% you should be picking Thatcher 99% of the time when you play Thatcher around these in basically any objective. So you definitely should utilize Thatcher, and hopefully this video helped you out in playing him better. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like, because it would really help out my channel, and also drop a sub as well. We're on that road to 10k. We're getting very, very close. It's going up. It's getting closer by the day. I'm definitely excited, because 10k is obviously a big landmark for most YouTubers, and it goes 1k, 10k, all that. It's just a great achievement to get. It just makes you feel like you're doing something right, because people are actually enjoying your videos. So I'd really appreciate it if you guys were part of that first 10k, but obviously you don't have to. And if you did enjoy this video though, make sure to leave a like so you can help more new Thatcher players learn how to play him properly, and hopefully get him more picked in games. I also stream on Twitch every day. The link is in the description down below if you'd like to check it out. Every day except for Saturday, sorry. And from 7:15 PM Australian Eastern Standard Time. I'd love to see you guys there as well, but obviously it is really your choice in the end. All of these things are your choice, but I just appreciate it if you did. But otherwise, if you didn't enjoy this video, let me know in the comments. But I hope you guys did enjoy. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.